Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a top 10 wow factor perfumes. These are all fragrances that when I smelled them for the first time, the first thing that came out of my mouth after I smelled these was just wow. Every fragrance on this list is one that when you wear it, it's going to leave a lasting impression. You're going to make an impression when you walk into the room. When you meet someone new, they're going to instantly be impressed by your perfume and they're going to remember you by it. All these fragrances are going to be turning heads and you're going to be getting a lot of compliments. Basically, everyone's going to be asking you what you're wearing everywhere you go because they are all just that good. So jumping into it with the first one, this is Mariya by Omen Luxury. This is one that's been getting a little bit of attention lately and for a very good reason. So this is a very warm gourmand rose scent. It's definitely a very unique take on that typical rose patchouli scent profile. So with the notes in this, to give you an idea, in the top, orange blossom, some bergamot with some mandarin orange, some citrus in the top, with a little spicy note added from some coriander, and in the mid we have Bulgarian rose, Taif rose, and geranium, with a base of patchouli, vanilla, coffee, and caramel. And the first thing that came to my mind when I came back to this fragrance was kind of reminded me a little tiny bit of Tony Iommi by Xerjoff. It definitely has a touch of something dark in here. I think it might have a very similar patchouli note that Tony Iommi has. Like, it's kind of blended and done in the same way, but this is definitely like the feminine counterpart to Tony Iommi. Even though I love to wear Tony Iommi, and I know that a lot of women watching me like to wear it too, but for some women, it's just a little too rock and roll, if you know what I mean. I think that if you like that scent profile, you'll definitely love this fragrance because it kind of has more of a focus on the florals than necessarily just that really dirty, like patchouli, leathery, rock and roller kind of vibe. This kind of adds a little bit of a feminine touch and it's definitely very sexy. That spiciness is here and it has that same beautiful gourmandness from that caramel, vanilla that you find in Tony Iommi, but with the coffee in this, it's totally unique. And if you like something that is a little bit on the dark side, a little bit of a femme fatale kind of fragrance, you definitely need to try Mariya. This one is jaw-droppingly beautiful and definitely a wow factor fragrance. So number 2 on my list is Belle by Jean Paul Gaultier. This is the Eau de Parfum, and there is a reason that this is a top seller. I personally had the Le Parfum version first before I got the original Belle, and I ended up selling it because I thought it was just a little too thick for me. It was a little too sweet. But this one I found, when I finally smelled this for the first time, was like the perfect balance of what I was looking for. In the end, I was always just looking for the original Belle for that scent profile versus the Le Parfum. This fragrance has that very super ripe, juicy pear note that everyone loves. It drives men crazy also, by the way. Like, men go absolutely nuts over this. I know that this is like one of the most bought perfumes by men for their wives. So the notes in here, of course, we have that pear, we have bergamot with some floral notes, with some leather, some vanilla. There's a little bit of depth in here as it dries down, with vetiver, amber, and musk. There's almost like the slightest honey vibe in here too, but I think that it really comes from that pear because the pear feels so ripe, so juicy. It's almost like the slightest bit, just a touch kind of syrupy. Nothing like the Le Parfum though. The Le Parfum is thick. It's a beautiful scent, but that's not one that I would wear in Miami, no. But La Belle, definitely you can pull off in the warmer months. But it's perfect, I think, more for like a nighttime date night. And I love that the pear in this is very realistic. It's done really well. And it's strong. Definitely not as strong as the Le Parfum, but this still has great performing power. And this is one of those fragrances that is gonna have people asking you everywhere you go what you're wearing. So next we're gonna talk about one that has had me in the strongest chokehold of my life lately. This is one that I have not stopped grabbing, one that I have been wearing even in the summer. I have been rocking and rolling this fragrance because it works well in the heat as well. We are talking about Overture Woman by Amouage. This is easily my favorite feminine fragrance from Amouage, although it is totally unisex. I know some men that like to wear this as well. It's warm, spicy, there's some amber, also very boozy. For me, this is kind of like a more feminine, a little bit darker feminine version of Apple Brandy on the Rocks. This one is an absolute must-have. Every woman on the planet needs to have Overture Woman. It is that good. It is just perfection. It's just entirely seductive. It's for a very powerful woman. So with the notes in here in the top, we have apple. We have rum and brandy with saffron and some bergamot. And in the mid, we have benzoin, some myrrh, some mayrose, some cinnamon, and some geranium with a base of leather, olibanum, and labdanum. This thing is a beastly fragrance too. This is definitely the best performing fragrance on this entire list. This is one that when I spray it on myself, I can smell it on my skin the next day. It lasts on clothes 4 days and it is strong the entire time you're wearing it. You're projecting, you're having the most fantastic scent bubble around you, and not only the best performing scent bubble, but the best smelling fragrance ever. I cannot even begin to tell you how ungodly sexy this fragrance is. If there's any on this list that is 100% trying, probably the ultimate wow factor, it's definitely Overture Woman by Amouage. So the next fragrance on this list is one that I think is a very underappreciated gem. This is Mont Blanc Signature. I don't think that a lot of people talk about this one as much as they should because I haven't heard that many reviewers talking about it. I've seen some, I know that it's known, but this is one that needs more attention because I think that this is one that is a must-have in every woman's collection. It's such a great cheapy scent, especially for the summer. It's a beautiful kind of vanillic, floral, musky scent. So in the notes in the top, we have some fruitiness with some clementine, with magnolia. Magnolia is such a stunning note in perfumery with ylang ylang. It kind of adds like a little tropical touch to this. Has some peony, there's some vanilla in here, white musk, and benzoin. So definitely in the opening you get this giant blast of this citrus. Basically the stars of the show in this is that kind of sweet citrus with the vanilla, with the musk, and a little bit of florals in between. I definitely feel the magnolia and ylang ylang in here. It really adds just this really beautiful tropical roundness to this. It's very airy and dreamy, but at the same time it performs very well. It's not the biggest projector, but it lasts on the skin very well. I think for the first maybe like a couple hours, 1 to 3 hours tops, you're gonna have some decent projection, but on the skin it lasts for a pretty long time. From the times that I've worn it, I've gotten at least 6-8 hours out of it, which for like I think I paid 40 bucks for this, $37 or something for a 1.7 ounce 50 ml. It's not bad at all. It's just a very easy, beautiful fragrance to wear during the summer. It definitely feels a little more youthful, but I think that it could be ageless in the right situation, especially in the summer. Everyone needs to have this fragrance. It's so good. Mont Blanc Signature. And I'm really hoping that in the beginning I didn't say Mont Blanc Explorer because that'd be really embarrassing. So now we have one that has been on my wish list for so long and I finally got a bottle of it. This is Tabac Rose by BDK. And when I smelled this for the first time, wow. This was such an iconic find for me. It's a very, very special rose scent. Also unisex for the guys out there that like to wear rose scents. It opens with this really nice, unique plum note. There's some pink pepper. You definitely get some pepperiness in the opening with some lemon. With a mid of rose, there's a chocolate note in here, cinnamon, and in the base we have some tobacco, of course, some Indonesian patchouli leaf, and Spanish labdanum. And like I said, it is 100% unisex as well. It definitely leans a little feminine. There is a sweetness in here, for sure, like a very subtle kind of fruitiness. And I don't really perceive so much chocolate in this. It's definitely there, way in the background, but I think that it kind of adds like this very nice, creamy smoothness to it. It feels like it would be more of like a milk chocolate than necessarily a dark chocolate. The plum in this is a little bit tart, but I think it works really well with the citrus. Everything in this, the tobacco as well. I think that slight tart plum note really just brings this all together, especially mixed with those kind of like more masculine notes with the leathery kind of vibes and the pepper. It really just pulls it all together with the tobacco. It's just one of those fragrances that is effortlessly beautiful. Just so put together, easy to wear, and just instantly elevates any outfit. I feel like if you are a woman that likes Delina, but you want something a little different, like a little darker, you'll definitely like this. Not that this smells like Delina per se, which I don't think that they smell alike at all, but they kind of vibe in that same kind of direction a little bit. If you're sick of that typical Delina DNA, I think you'll really appreciate Tabac Rose by BDK. So next on the list we have Romance Parfum by Ralph Lauren. Now this is another rose scent, but a very musky, clean rose scent. This is not the original Romance Eau de Toilette. This is the Romance Parfum. It was just released a couple years ago. It still has that feeling of that famous romance DNA, but it's a little more modern, a little more youthful too. It's like a very pinky, fluffy, kind of marshmallowy vibe mixed with some cleanness. So the notes, we have black currant, we have orange blossom, pink pepper, some violet leaves with a mid of rose, jasmine, ylang ylang with a base of musk and patchouli. Everything in this is mixed so well, and I love the musky feeling of this compared to the other ones. This one is definitely more, it's a little more typical smelling. Like I said, it has that original romance DNA here, but it's just done in a, it's just tweaked a little bit better in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of romance eau de toilette, but this one is absolutely stunning. This is one that is going to impress people, and it's one that I've been reaching for a lot lately. Really impressed by this. I got this for a pretty affordable price as well. So Romance Parfum by Ralph Lauren. Sexy, timeless, very fun and flirty. So now we're gonna talk about my baby, my heart, my soul, my love, Possibilities by Libre Le. This fragrance is an absolute man killer. This fragrance is one of the sexiest fragrances on earth. One of the best spicy, warm vanilla, floral vanillas on the market today. It drives me nuts. Every time I visit it, I literally say, wow, this is such an iconic perfume. There's just something so special feeling about this. But to explain it a little bit better, in the top we have black currant with some freesia and some pink pepper, adds a little bit of spiciness to it, some rose, some Battaglia, and orange blossom with a base of a very smooth cashmere wood, Mexican vanilla, Akigala wood, and ambergris. This is a powerhouse, dark feminine fragrance that screams mystery and sensuality. So stunningly sexy. It is the ultimate summer evening scent. You could wear this year round, and it is just one of those fragrances that if you wear this as a signature scent, no one in your life is going to forget you. It's so powerful. It's very just like evokes your emotion. There's something about this that is just very, very, very appealing. It's very hard to like pinpoint exactly what it is, but for some reason this is one that is so close to my heart and I will forever recommend because it is just the best. Possibilities by Libre Le. So this next one is one that I don't think anyone really sees coming. It's one that's kind of fallen off of the face of the earth for a little while, but I recently got a bottle of it. I've known about it, of course, for a while now, but I came across it at the cosmetic company store and I grabbed it for a very nice price. Bitter Peach by Tom Ford. And like I said, people don't seem to talk about this one anymore, but that does not mean that it's not an iconic scent, not a wow factor scent, because trust me, it is. It's so good. It kind of has a very subtle, instinctual vibe to it, as odd as that is to say. It's a very, very realistic peach note. It's just heavenly. I love this one so much. In the top, of course, we have a peach note, blood orange with some cardamom, some heliotrope, with a mid of rum, some cognac, divana, and some jasmine with a base of patchouli, vanilla, tonka bean, some benzoin, sandalwood, cashmere, and vetiver. Wow, Tom Ford just has this way of creating these amazing kind of oriental style fragrances. I mean, this is an iconic release. No matter what anyone says, like the way that he was able to take a very appealing, fresh, kind of fruity peach fragrance and transform it into this gorgeous, just stunning, unique oriental style fragrance is just incredible. And I can tell you guys, it smells even better than how the notes sound. Like the notes, it sounds incredible. Like such a beautiful mixture of different notes, but the actual smell is just, it's just so good. I don't know what it is in here. It's almost kind of like crack. It just pulls you in. There's something very mysterious about this. In a way mysterious, but at the same time, very welcoming. Like it's a very happy scent, just puts a smile on your face. And with my testing on the performance of this, I was very surprised because I was expecting it to be not so great just based on what I've heard some people say, but just also because it's like Lost Cherry, right? It's like kind of part of that same collection and everyone knows that Lost Cherry just does not last at all. But for me, this has actually lasted very well on my skin. Not entirely beastly, but definitely good performance for this kind of scent profile for a very like light, airy, sexy scent. I get at least 6 hours on my skin with this. It's very good. It does perform very good and you will smell totally unique. You guys cannot name one fragrance that smells like this, please. At least that didn't copy Bitter Peach, right? This is an iconic fragrance, definitely one that everyone needs, and you can get it for a nice affordable price on the discounters. So sexy. This is one that makes a man want to eat you. So next we have a fragrance, a designer fragrance from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. This is Libre Le Parfum, and this is a newest flanker in the Libre line, which is a fragrance line that people either really love or they really hate. There's really not too much of an in-between. I think it has something to do with that iconic, famous lavender note. Some people just can't get behind it, but personally, I really love it, and I think it's really sexy. And this one is the best in the entire line, the Le Parfum. I love that they add some like spicy kind of oriental touches to it. There's an added ginger and saffron note here with some others that just really brings a lot of depth and dimension to it. So it also has some mandarin orange with bergamot with that famous lavender note in the mid, with a base of bourbon vanilla, kind of a thick boozy vanilla, with some honey, some tonka bean, and some vetiver. It definitely shares that same DNA of the original Libre, but this is just so much better. Absolutely incredible, so sexy. This is a powerful fragrance for a very powerful woman. The girl that wears this fragrance is automatically the most beautiful girl in the room. All eyes on you. It is just fantastic. Every time I wear this, I get so many compliments. It's definitely a crowd pleaser, but at the same time, in the designer world, it is very unique. It doesn't smell like a lot of the other fragrances that are available in, say, Sephora or Ulta. It definitely stands on its own. It deserves all the hype that it gets. It's so freaking sexy. Libre Le Parfum by Yves Saint Laurent. So of course we have to end the video with an absolute banger. Lady White Snake by Stefan Umberluca. You guys know my addiction with this perfume. I'm absolutely addicted, obsessed, every adjective in between. This is one of the best white floral fragrances in my entire collection. It's just so, wow, it's so good. In the top we have Orange Blossom with honeysuckle, some mandarin orange, with a mid of tuberose, jasmine, and magnolia, with a base of white leather, white musk, and amber. It is a stunning, just super feminine fragrance. This is 100% that girl in a bottle. Just stunning. Definitely like a boss fragrance too. This is another one of those fragrances that there's just something about it that feels very special. And this is one that is in my top 10 for life for sure. It's a video that I need to do. This is one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. I get compliments galore when I wear it, and it's a beast like all Stefan Umberluca fragrances. This one performs amazingly. Trust me when I say it makes men drool. It makes men go crazy in a very good way. So definitely worth trying sampling because it is just, it's so good, guys. Wow is the ultimate way to describe it. So ladies, that is my video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have tried any of these fragrances or if you're interested in them. I would love to know. And comment, what is your ultimate wow factor fragrance? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.